There they go again, talking about the stupid legend of the Night Fury. There's so many stories to tell, and they do cycle through quite a bit for the dragons that can't really make it on time to hear the stories, or maybe they're pulling a late shift somewhere else. But let's be real here. They've been over this stupid story for so many times that it's starting to get a bit old. And maybe it's just me, but it seems as though the story grows more incredible every single time they tell it. My sister walks up to me, folding her wings, her daughter in tow. Why don't you join us anymore for story time? Pearl, I've told you over and over again, that's for babies. So wait, half the dragons here are babies? They sure do act like it, I replied to my sister. My sister is a beautiful light fury, but I'm the prettiest one here, and even other dragons that are not the same species as us look at me with admiration because they can appreciate a pretty thing. We have some male light furies here too, but they're already paired with females, and those females make sure they stay far on the other end of the hidden world because anytime they bring their males around, they can't keep their eyes off of me. It's not my fault they don't have self-control. Needless to say, the only female that paid me any mind was my own sister. I heard them talking about me behind my back, telling each other that we have to find her a male. Right, like that's gonna stop yours from looking at me? Please, no amount of glitter from those diamonds in the roof are gonna make them any prettier. Brightwing, are you even listening? Yeah. Look, Mom and Dad told me to look out for you. Yeah, well, that's when we were younger. So, I'm going to help you find a partner. Pearl, do not. I'm going to. Listen to me. I know you think you're being a good big sister, but you're actually being annoying. She scoffs at me like she doesn't take me seriously. What? You're so stubborn. You think you know everything. You've had males court you, and you turned them all down. You made them leave. I made them leave. Yes. There aren't any other females here besides the ones that are taken. Maybe I'm leaving my options open. Or maybe you like starting trouble. I see where this is going. Oh, there it is. Maybe I should leave then. Brightwing, that's not what I... No, it's fine. If anyone's gonna find my mate, it's gonna be me. Why didn't you choose one of the males? Because they're immature. Rockfire? Head was too big. Really? No, his head literally was disproportionate to his body. Oh my god, Brightwing. It's fine. Don't worry about me. I never asked you to. Mom and Dad did. Well, they aren't here, are they? I know that was insensitive, but she kind of deserves it. Every time I try to get my life on track and make decisions for myself, my sister literally comes swooping in thinking she can control my decisions. Maybe I want to stay solo for the rest of my life, but to be honest, I've never met anyone who was worthy of me. It may sound like I'm full of myself, but half the female dragons here, not really just talking about the light furies in particular, but half the female dragons here always settle for males that are, well, always less than them. Here's what I've observed, and I'm very good when it comes to romantics, and because I don't really interfere with relationships, nor do I really get meddled up with them, I'm able to see things a lot more clearly than those other girl dragons. And there's one rule that I live by. If I'm going to find a male, I have to find a male that's better than me, better looking than me, stronger than every other male. Because here's the thing, if I find a male that's out of my league, he'll always be on the hunt for a female that looks better than me. And I'm the best looking female there is, so the chances of him leaving are much more rare. Those other female light furies, those are not the best females they could be with. I'm the prettiest, so those males always have a reason to choose up. Maybe it's not their fault they look the way they do, and maybe it's quite natural for males to look at other females, like me, because we're so beautiful. But if my parents are any examples, not just because furies mate for life means that there's no infidelity at all. Infidelity is actually quite common in the fury world, and it usually happens when there's a mismatch. All that aside, my sister's right. I can't stay here. I have to find me a drop-dead gorgeous light fury and bring him back and show everyone I have the best male there is. Much later, I stretch my wings, preparing myself to make the long journey. My niece comes in to find me. Where are you going? None of your business. Go back to your mom. Ma! Are you serious right now? What would happen if you gave me your dinner last night? Traitor. My niece just sits there waiting for my sister to come in. What are you doing? What does it look like I'm doing, Pearl? I'm leaving. You were just gonna leave and not say goodbye. Oh my gosh, I'm coming back. Relax. I'm gonna go find a mate, just like you said. You're not going out there. Why not? You're not experienced flying out there by yourself. Wow, so I'm incompetent now to fly? It's not what I mean. Then please, could you get straight to the point? I hate when everyone dawdles around getting straight to the point. What is it? It's really not a good time for you to go out there. I heard that the humans are... Seriously, with the legends again. I swear, you guys really need to get out more. Brightwing, you're not listening. You don't do that very well. It's not a good time to get out there. There's a lot of dragons that are being victimized right now. Now that I finally want to do something for myself, you're trying to stop me from doing it because you want to take all the credit. Is that it? What are you even saying? I'm your sister. I don't want anything to happen to you. That's right. You don't want anything to happen to me as long as you have control over me. Is that it? Well, here's news for you. I'm leaving. Goodbye. And with that, I stretch my wings and I fly towards the entrance. It's not that I don't believe my sister. I do believe her. Over the past few years, things have been really hectic, especially with humans. They are exceedingly and overwhelmingly annoying, but we have that special ability to make ourselves disappear. So if I do run into any trouble, I can just spit my magic breath and fly through it and they won't see me. I go from island to island and make my mating call. I'm not really doing it with much verve, but I'm still doing it. And I'm pretty sure it sounds like this to the male. Hey, what's up? I'm available to get partnered up with someone, so if you want, I don't really care, but yeah. For some reason, the air is very heavy, which makes it so much harder to fly. I look for a place to land. I land gently, but somehow I managed to spook a whole bunch of dragons that were on the ground that I didn't even see for some reason. Shh, you're gonna give away our location, a deadly natter says to me. Okay, sorry, jeez. A singed tail looks up into the night sky and exclaims, They've seen her. You led them straight to us. What the flippity flap are you talking about? We must fly away, says another voice. Suddenly, dragons emerge from the trees and all flap like mad, trying to get away from the island as quick as possible. I don't know what's happening, but I decide the best course of action for me is to follow them. Maybe in the scuffle I can find some males as well. Suddenly, there's a distressed cry up ahead, and the group of dragons directly in front of me just splits in half, some of them going to the left and some to the right. To my horror, I can see a group of 5 dragons having been caught by a huge net thing, being pulled in by a long string attached to it. As they crash into the water below, I see their net being pulled in by something on a floating piece of wood. They're humans, a lot of them. On these floating wood devices called boats, there are a lot of other dragons that are already captured. This is bad, and I get ready to use my defense mechanism if necessary. I don't want to admit that my sister was right, but I'm already doing it in my head. I can't deny it. I start to flap faster, and another dragon rams into me accidentally. Or at least I feel so. I look to my right, and there's one of those net things extended, ready to capture me. I shoot my magic out in front of me, and I disappear as my scales become reflective to my environment. But it's already too late. Even though I may be invisible to my enemies, I'm certainly not intangible, and the net crashes over me, and I can see and feel myself falling towards the waves below. I'm not a strong swimmer, so when I crash into the water and I start sinking, I start to panic, unable to free myself from the net. Luckily, I feel it pulling back towards the boats that the humans are on. I'm losing my breath because I'm screaming while underwater. This escalated so quickly. I'm not gonna lie. Right now, I am freaking terrified, and I wish more than anything else I could have just not gone out. I could have just avoided this. Why did this happen? There's so many times in my life where I've made bad choices, and in that moment when the choice is playing out, or the results of it, all I can wish is that this never happened, that this was just a dream, that I would wake up and all of this would be gone. I always wish that there was a way to turn back time, knowing this would happen on this timeline, but choosing the perfect one. My body, my face, everything about me is perfect, but I don't always make the perfect decisions. A lot of what I've learned was from making mistakes first. I've been pretty good at holding myself together so far, but I let my emotions cloud my judgment. I was being spiteful, and that's why I'm in the situation right now. My eyes start to close, they get ridiculously heavy as I can feel the life leaving me. When suddenly I break the surface of the water and I'm being hoisted up. It's amazing how much heavier you feel when you're drenched in water. I am violently placed on the ship and then thrown in one of the cages. I shoot plasma through the cage. It doesn't break the cage, but it ends up killing one of the humans as they fall overboard. And then I am stuck with something sharp in my side. And then nothing. I wake up and I realize that one of the humans must have knocked me out. I look around and I'm not the only one in a cage. Good thing I'm in a cage by myself. The worst thing for me right now is to be shared with some other strange dragon rubbing up next to me while I'm like this. While I'm silently panicking. I try to think of a way to escape. I have to. Humans were always bad news. I mean, the legend spoke of that Night Fury, and some renditions of it claimed he controlled humans as well. Got them to do his bidding. Others claimed he would never stoop that low to associate with humans, and that he actually banished many of them from certain regions so dragons could reclaim them. Both stories ended with this Fury having created a dragon utopia somewhere other than the hidden world. My home. The one place I wouldn't be right now. I had been fooling myself because even though I told my sister Pearl that I wanted to find a mate myself, I really didn't have any intention of doing so. I was actually thinking of staying out here and making a life by myself. One that would require someone thinking they have control over it. I was looking forward to enjoying my new life on my own, independently. But now, here I am in a rusty old human cage like a darn fish waiting to be eaten.
Hey, Whitey,
said a voice above me or beside me. Where was it coming from?
Over here. Yeah, that's it. You know you're the reason we got into this mess. Your bright white skin is what attracted them to us. We were fine before you came along.
I located the voice and I see an older rumblehorn staring at me. More so, glaring at me. I glare back and I hiss. My wings pace to my sides in fight mode. How dare he? Well, maybe you should have hidden better, moron. It was only a matter of time before you got caught, because even if they didn't see you, they would have certainly smelled you. I smirk in disdain for this odious creature. He rams his head in fury against the cage. This catches me off guard, and I jump back, believing he broke through it or something.
You furies in your privilege, thinking you're above the rest of us, huh?
What are you even talking about? I ask him this because I'm legitimately trying to know. Privilege?
Yes, Whitey. Legends are all about furies now, so you feel you're all a superior breed. Well, you're not. And the only thing that makes me happy is seeing you decay in that cage right alongside the rest of us.
What the hell is this guy's problem? He's gonna hate me just because I'm a fury? That doesn't make any sense. And I'm not the one that came up with those stories. If anything, I despise those stories about night furies and light furies or whatever it is they're about. But there are equally as many stories about different kinds of dragons as well, but somehow I'm the villain simply because I was born a type of dragon, something I could not control. I turn my back towards him. I don't want him to get me down. Ugh. The humans are busy, and after many hours pass, more dragons are brought to the boat. We're getting ready to take off. I can feel it. Something inside me boils to the surface, and as a human gets close to my cage, I feel the need to... That's it. Don't! A young male voice calls out to me. It scares me so much that I end up choking on my own breath. I whip my head around in anger and question. Why would you do that? Jeez, don't you know anything? It is known that it's bad luck to kill or assault a human. Oh, please. If it's my life in danger and I have to choose one of us, it's gonna be me that walks out of here alive. Call me crazy, but I'm not superstitious, even though the very definition of superstitious is crazy. And if it's not, it should be. I feel proud of myself at my reply. After all, this is a youngster who knows nothing. You're really pretty, but you're an idiot. My eyes fly open. I didn't even realize they'd been closed. My head was in the air with my eyes closed because I was thinking about how awesome I was. When I hear this, they narrow and I turn slowly to face the insolent creature. Excuse me? And you're hard of hearing. If this cage wasn't here, I don't mean to offend you, but seriously, how could you not know why you shouldn't do that? Of course we can take these humans, but all that happens when we attack them is that more of us die. My parents told me that a very long time ago dragons were hunting almost to extinction, and it was a time that we learned to get along with each other since we learned we had a common enemy. Yes, I interject. Those stupid humans that are holding us in these cages right now, what do you think's gonna happen to us, huh? You think they're gonna try and make friends? No, but back then when dragons preyed on humans or defended themselves against humans, it encouraged the humans to become stronger, and they started to make weapons that could kill dragons from out of the sky. For every human a dragon killed, the population of humans became stronger and wiser and built better weapons. It's like an ant's nest. If you kick it, you turn the whole nest against you. Back then, the warlord dragons made it their mission to eradicate all humans. They thought they did at one point, but the humans came back with a vengeance and hunted dragons to the end of the earth. What was worse is that they turned a lot of the dragons against their own kind and bred aberrations that were specifically meant for killing dragons. Many of the descendants today are from those dragons, like the Red Death and the Death Rippers. The humans are some kind of sorcerers. They can do things to dragons that you wouldn't even ever imagine. It sounds stupid, but we have a higher chance of surviving if we don't irritate them. If you kill more of them, only more of us will die, and you'll die for sure. I don't want to believe him, but what happens next makes me believe that I'm being mocked. That rumble horn that was bad-mouthing me rammed against his cage when one of the humans got near. I thought he was trying to intimidate them, but as I look closer, I realize that he has the human's arm in his mouth and is pulling it through the cage. There's a sickening snapping noise as the human pulls away, minus his arm. Suddenly, there are dozens of humans surrounding the Rumblehorn's cage. Some of them drive this weird tool up the armor of the Rumblehorn, and the others proceed to shove these sharp objects straight into his ribcage under his armor. As big and strong as this guy is, he can't fight them off trapped in that cage, and I can actually hear his lungs filling with blood. I can't force myself to look away. Everything that this youngster just said to me hits home, and that's the first time I realized just how much danger I'm in. The Rumblehorn lies there agonizingly dying. He's a jerk, but he doesn't deserve this. I mean, maybe he does. I don't know anything about him, but I just keep imagining myself in his place. I almost did what he just did. I look over at the youngster and he gives me a knowing look and then turns away. I blast plasma at the floor of my cage and I curl up to disappear. I do the one thing I never want anyone to see me doing. I break down and cry. I must have been very tired, because when I wake up, there's a whole bunch of noise that I didn't even process. There are some weird looking dragons on two legs fighting other dragons on two legs, but they're speaking a human language. When I look closer, I realize that they're humans dressed in this weird armor. At first, I think some of the dragons escaped that are fighting off the humans, but these are new humans and the dragons seem to be helping them. I quickly make myself invisible because I know that these humans are controlling these dragons and are no doubt going to make them kill all of us. They start taking the dragons out of the cages. I know this is it. We're going to die. I'm not going to let them take me, and the only thing I can do to save myself is to pretend I'm not here. I close my eyes until it's over. Finally, it starts to quiet down. I can smell something. A strange dragon is right by my cage, like he can sense my presence. I hold my breath and I turn away from him, praying that my invisibility won't wear off. I hold onto it for as long as possible, wishing that he'll go away. I can hear him sniffing. I can feel his presence trying to discern whether or not there's anything here. I know it. I know he knows I'm here. He knows. I shut my eyes tighter, and then just like that, he takes off. I release the breath I'm holding, and I turn around and open my eyes slowly. My vision is blurry from shutting my eyes so tight and from the tears drowning out my ability to see. I look around the boat, and I'm the only dragon left in a cage. All the others are gone, probably taken to be tortured or killed. The few humans that make their way back into the boat and that survive the attack get ready to sail off until they all see me. Well, look at this! They seem to have missed one. Much later, we arrive on land. The cage is brought in and placed under this weird structure the humans seem to call home. The three humans stand over me. The smallest one with the softest voice feeds me. He, or it, or maybe it's female, seems to protect me from the others. There's some dragons already here, so this means that these humans have been doing this for quite some time, capturing dragons, probably with the intent to control us and turn us against one another. I can hear the other dragons talking, and one seems to be translating what the humans are saying. Many other humans stop by my cage and admire my beauty. I know they're doing this because I've seen that expression before, the one where individuals are unable to stop staring at me. I start to get used to this way of life. I convince myself that I'm going to live like this until I have the opportunity to escape without confrontation. While I'm working through all of this in my mind, another human walks in, followed by some putrid-smelling dragons. I hear a whisper say, "Death grippers." Is that what they are? They look horrendous and they smell disgusting, like death and puke. They scare me as they walk past my cage, one looking directly at me as he walks by. I know. that he's admiring my beauty too, but not for the same reason everyone else does. From the look in his eyes, he wants to rip me apart. His only purpose is to destroy pretty things. Your skin, he says as he passes by. I gasp, waiting for him to finish. Your skin is beautiful. Thank you, I feel compelled to reply. But it would look even better without you in it. I shiver and back up into my cage. I can't breathe. His gaze pierces mine, but he says all of this and doesn't break stride, just keeps walking. Wow, I need to get the hell out of Dodge. Now these guys scare me to death, but even more so is the man who controls them. Based on what the other dragons say, this evil silver human used their own venom to turn them against themselves, to make them listen. Anything that can turn dragons against themselves with their own venom is unnatural. I got the gist of what the other dragons are saying. Apparently, these humans are collecting all the dragons so they can use them to kill other dragons. At least that's what I think. I'm trying to hear while also trying to figure out how I'm going to make my escape when suddenly the silver human and the other three gather around my cage and look at me. They say something to me, or maybe they're talking about me, and the next thing I know, I'm waking up. I'm now in a strange place with strange smells that, for a minute, I think I'm dead. Am I dead? How did I get out of my cage? I'm really wondering right now whether or not any of that really happened. As I open my eyes, I try to focus, and I see two big orbs floating in front of me. I focus, or at least I try to, and as I focus more clearly, I realize that they're eyes. A big pair of eyes on this floating black head. I scream out and jump back. It jumps back too. I hiss at it, prepared to fight for my life. My heart is beating so fast, and I hear it speak. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to frighten you. I'm not going to hurt you, I promise. I found you like this, and I was wondering if you were okay. Stay away from me, or I will cut you. It's okay. It's all right, he says as he approaches. I'm sorry. I'm staring. I don't mean to be rude. It's just, I can't believe that there's someone else like me. It takes me a while to process what he's saying, and then I calm down a little bit and realize that he's right. Wait a minute. As I look at his face and his features, I realize he's a fury like me. He's a night fury. I don't remember the last time I've seen a knight. I've heard from my family that they now live in a region that's more suited for them. I also heard that many of them were hunted to extinction by humans. There's so many different stories that I don't believe any of them completely, because how can we know which one's true? One thing's for sure, here's one right in front of me. He seems nice. He doesn't seem dangerous, but he's also wearing human items. No, you're one of them. You're controlled by the humans. He laughs. He sounds goofy when he does, and this catches me off guard. I'm not controlled by anyone. My best friend made this for me, and yes, my best friend is a human. It's to help me. It was a gift. Your skin is black, I say to him. After looking at himself, he looks back at me and smiles. Thanks. I didn't notice. No, I mean, Something snaps in the distance, and my nerves once again are on fire and full alert. In defense, I unleash my magic breath towards the source of the sound. It's too good to be true. It's those humans. Whoa, he says in concern. They followed me here. No, they followed you here. You let them here. It's okay. They're friends. I see them come out from the trees. No, they're not. They're humans. Not all are bad. Yes, they are. I've seen it. You're delusional. Leave me alone. I can't trust you. This is a trick. Wait, no. I swear it's not. Come back. I can feel him coming after me, and before he gets a chance to fly, I make myself disappear. Right after I make myself disappear, I duck and dive towards a tree, so when I reappear, he won't see me. Of course, every Fury would know this trick, but I'm just hoping that since he's controlled by the humans, he would have forgotten. I know, that's a lot to ask, but when I look back, he's not even following. I don't know how I ended up here in the first place, but I refuse to go back. When it gets darker, I do a fly over the island. It's really beautiful, and I can see that there are many dragons that reside in this island. They're not in cages, and this confuses me. Then I understand. These humans are controlling these dragons as well, just like that evil human. That's why they don't need to be in cages. I think this is worse than being in a cage. At least when I'm in a cage, I still have my own willpower. I don't ever want to become like them. I find some water, and I rest. I feel so thirsty. I think about the Night Fury. He's beautiful. Come to think of it, he's actually very handsome. Very handsome. I shake my head. Maybe the entirety of the traumatic experience and me not having had a partner before is making me see things that aren't there. Maybe it's because he's exotic. But I can't stop thinking about him. I'm curious because he doesn't behave like dragons under the control of an evil human being. But maybe that's the trick. Maybe humans are getting wiser. I want to learn more about him, and so I find him and follow him. I can see him play with his human, and he looks totally idiotic. Why would the Night Fury stoop himself this low? He then goes inside the human's nest. As I observe him, I realize that he isn't being controlled. He's only pretending, of course. He's waiting for his moment too. I hear a dragon wake up, and before my presence can be discovered, I disappear, literally. The next day, I hang out in an adjacent rock formation very close by. When I go back to spy on the Night Fury, there's firebirds all over, and all the humans and dragons are gone. For some reason, I start to panic. Maybe it's because I found one other Fury like me, so I don't feel so alone. At least that's what I tell myself. I'm sure it has nothing to do with the fact that I just met a hot male. I frantically search for where they could have gone. I meet a huge group of dragons like that with a whole bunch of humans won't go unnoticed. Finally, in the distance, I see what looks to be a flight of dragons leaving the area. I make myself invisible when I fly past. Observing them from above, I can see the Night Fury leading the way. Of course, there he is, and they're out in the open. Now, there's a chance he's away from the rest of the group, and I feel like this is my opportunity to help him. I dive towards the human on his back. The human says something to me, but before I let him finish, I grab him up and squeeze and carry him far away from the Night Fury, only to toss him into the ocean to get eaten. Alright, now's your chance. Fly! What are you waiting for? I'm saving you, moron! He looks at me with a weird, shy, or guilty face. He's my friend. He dives to save the human. Is he for freaking real? These humans are stupid. Why is he not taking the chance to leave? I know the other humans won't attack me because this one is their leader. And once I get rid of the leader, the others will just fall away. But the stupid male goes back and saves the human. Maybe he is being controlled. I shake my head and leave. Idiot. Maybe I made a mistake. What am I even doing? I have the opportunity to fly home. Why am I hanging around here worrying about this stupid night? Obviously, he doesn't want to leave for some strange reason. Maybe he really is being controlled. That's the only way I can rationalize it. But he doesn't act like it. The part of me is being a little selfish. He's good looking, and he's also a Night Fury, the very thing that the legends are being sung about back home. How amazing would it be if I brought back one and showed all the other females that I had a male that looked much better than theirs? The other part is, watching him from afar, he's very interesting. I've seen him ordering other dragons around, and I try to remind myself that he is being controlled by humans, but everything else tells me that that's a lie. He certainly doesn't act like it, and when he talks to the other dragons, it's like he has a mind of his own, and he seems to really care about them. One time I saw him playing around with the female natter. Hi, Toothless. Okay, I'm back. Let's continue. Continue what, wench? I remember saying. I remember how jealous I felt. Cringe. I'm not someone who feels jealous. I'm not. Should I say yes to him or should I not? I don't know. I really like the dance. I saw you guys. You never danced with me, Stormfly. Well, you never asked, Toothless. Well, I'm asking. All right, then. I can't believe what I saw next. They got up and started courting each other in that stupid dance. I remember how I felt. I remember wanting to go down there and grab that by her horns and toss her over the cliff. Those feelings scared even me. In that moment, I wanted nothing more than for him to dance with me like that. That's it. You know what? He should be fawning over my beauty. Maybe the reason I like him is because he doesn't act the way with me that I'm used to other males acting. I mean, the first thing that males usually do when they approach me is start to try and impress me. And he never did that, but he's dancing with old blue foot face. I need to correct this. That night, when the humans and dragons finally land at this new place, I find out where he's staying. I whisper silently as I land behind the human's nest. Hey, you! It only takes seconds for him to come out and meet me. It's you! It's you! I knew you'd come back! I thought you...
Wow, this
God,
is
what's
great
wrong with
seeing
him?
you here. I mean,
Doesn't he realize
I
I'm trying to be
thought for sure
quiet?
that you went back home or something. And it's just, look, I just wanted to say that earlier on our first impression.
Shut up!
Oh, sorry.
Jeez. Come along. I fly silently in the wind and he runs below following me. Why doesn't he fly? I know he can fly, but most of the time he doesn't fly unless he's with that human. Is he not allowed to fly without the human's permission? Or maybe he doesn't want me enough. For some reason, this thought breaks my heart. Of course he wants me enough. I'm drop dead gorgeous. Who would not? I land and wait for him to catch up. Ahem. You just gonna stand over there staring at me? I say when he finally reaches. He takes a step and proceeds to fall on his ass down the embankment. Wow, at least he landed on his feet. A part of this is embarrassing as much as it is cute.
Sorry about that. I'm a little tired. My legs are a little bit, yeah. So, nice night today, isn't it? I mean, night.
I raise my eyebrow. He laughs nervously. I make him nervous. That's good. This makes me feel more powerful. I twirl and I say, dance for me. I'm bored.
Dance?
Yeah, like you were doing for your snaggletooth friend.
What?
I just realized that by me saying that, he's gonna know I was spying on him. Just dance.
Okay.
He flaps nervously, and I look uninterested. I hear a noise behind me. Something more interesting back there than me?
No, look at this.
He flaps and sends sand flying into my face. Okay, strong wings, cute. For a minute, he just stands there like a fool. He starts moving in herky-jerky motions. All I can think is, what the hell is he doing? He's trying his best, but he's really sucking at it. Honestly, I feel bad for him, but this is so entertaining right now just watching him fail epically. How can a Fury not know how to dance? I want to laugh so hard, but that's not classy.
Try something else.
I feel like I'm going to lose it, and I seriously don't want to start laughing because I know it's going to hurt his feelings. So I fly over to a nearby branch and hang upside down. Oh my gosh, I'm going to crack up. I cover myself with my wings and stifle my laughter. Brightwing, get it together. Please don't laugh at this male because you're going to end up scarring him for life. I can hear him coming over to me. I can feel his body weight shifting the branch slightly.
You like this?
You want to be rocked to sleep? I don't answer him. However, something about feeling his weight rocking the tree up and down makes my body feel warm. I can feel the strength of his muscles moving. For some reason, I know that his legs are stronger than most Furies. I'm so shy right now, I don't even want to look at him. Honestly, I want him to be my boyfriend. I like him a lot. Despite him being goofy and weird, I really do like him. There's something about him, the way that he's kind, but also acts like a leader with the other dragons. I just want to say yes to him already, but I'm not that kind of girl. I feel like he could try harder courting me. After all, I deserve that. He needs to understand how special I am, and how lucky he would be to have me. Even though, I have to be honest, I feel like I'd be the lucky one to have him. What am I even saying right now? Okay, I don't think this is gonna hold both of us.
Don't worry, buddy. Toothless is gonna rock you to sleep.
What? Snap goes the branch, and plop, he goes with it. He gets up and looks at me. Every time he looks at me, my body's temperature raises even more, but for some reason, I just want to be pissed at him. I close my wings and refuse to look at him. You're not trying hard enough. I don't know what you want me to do, he says. I can hear him sighing in frustration. Oh, that sigh is so hot, and he's doing it because of me. I peek to look at him. Don't let him catch you looking at him, Brightwing. He's holding the broken end of the branch in his mouth and doing something with it to the dirt. Weird. He's so weird and eccentric that everything he does interests me. I just don't want to give away that I'm interested that quickly. Okay, what is he doing? I get down from off the branch and walk up closer to see what he's doing on the dirt. And what I see makes my heart soften. What are you doing? Oh my god, is this for me?
That's gotta impress you now, he says.
Wow, I can't believe he drew my face in the dirt. I'm actually impressed. There are only a few animals I know that can do this, and they're usually dragons or animals with 4 limbs or appendages to do so. Doing it with your mouth is a whole other game. You're very talented with your mouth, I say to him. Thanks. Does he even realize I'm flirting with him? It's like I have to be totally direct with him. He's so clueless. Okay, I think he's tried it hard enough, and honestly, I'm bursting at the seams right now. The thing is, and I won't ever tell him this, I already decided that I wanted him to be my boyfriend a long time ago. I already knew that I wanted this Night Fury. I walk closer to him because I know he won't do it.
Oh my god, seriously, girl?
He says, catching me off guard with his growl.
Do not speak to me like that.
I say back with a growl of my own. He drops his stick in shock at my equal outburst. That's right, handsome. I can growl too. I worked hard on that. You're gonna mess up your pretty face. It just feels like you don't appreciate it. As soon as he says this, my heart breaks. He's right. I was stepping on his art that he worked so hard to make for me. What turns me on even more is that he's totally honest and direct with me and how he feels. He's not afraid to show his feelings, and he's not afraid to tell me how he actually thinks. This is someone I can trust. I'm sorry, Shadow.
It's alright. I'm sorry too. I can always make another one. It's just that anytime I try to duplicate my art, it's never as good as the original.
That's totally fine, handsome. Time to get my flirt on. I slowly saunter up to him, teasing him the whole way. I look him deep in the eyes and let him know that he's earned his reward. Me. The final step is for us to fly together. You've made it to second base.
Second base?
Yup. Fly with me. Maybe you're a better dancer in the sky. I wag my tail to encourage him to follow, and he does, for a short while. What are you waiting for?
I can't follow you.
Why not?
I can't fly.
Sure you can, I saw you.
I can only fly with my friend. I'm missing one of the fins off my tail.
I know he's not lying because I can see it, but it's a bit weird to me because I've seen other Furies with similar handicaps and they can still fly. I look back and I see a human in the distance. It's his human. I really hate humans, but I know that this one isn't a threat anymore, especially since I was able to take him quite easily. I don't like the fact that it's been standing there watching us the whole time, so that kind of makes me feel uncomfortable. Well, I guess you must not want it bad enough then, is all I say before flying off. When you do want it bad enough, you can find me. But I won't be waiting forever. The truth is, I want to wait forever for this Night Fury, but I also have to make him serious about my value. I know I sound narcissistic, but it's part of what makes me appealing to males. I can have any male I want, but I'm choosing him. I want him to be serious about choosing me too. Wait! I hear him call out, but I refuse to look back no matter how much I want to. I'm soaring through the clouds the next day, exercising, and I hear something. There's another dragon close by. It's him. I knew he'd come back. I guess he does want me bad enough. Honestly, I'm super excited, but I keep myself reserved. Inside, I'm screaming, yes, 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 he does really like me. He does think I'm worth it. I got me a man. But I pull my face together and just say, oh, hey, it's you. So you finally decided to join me.
Hey! Of course I did. I wanted to see you again.
I thought you said you couldn't fly.
I wasn't lying. I couldn't fly without the human. But he made me a new tail last night, and now I can.
Oh, well, look at that. I know I always seem dull and uninterested, but that's just my personality. I like having power, and looking too excited makes me look like a child, and seems to not make others take me seriously. I really like the Night Fury, and I don't want to ruin this. I also don't make a big deal about his handicap. So, now that you have your new fin, now we can do our courtship dance, I say as I barrel roll over him and head further up into the clouds. We fly fast and strong as the lightning crashes above us. Let's see your magic breath, I say as I make myself disappear with mine.
Yeah, I can't do that, Brightwing.
You're so silly. All Furies can do it. I watch him as he tries over and over again and fails.
Yeah, I just can't.
Well, that's too bad. Some other time then. I know he can do it because every Fury can shoot plasma, and plasma contains the very thing that makes our scales reflective, no matter what kind of Fury you are. And trust me, there are many types of Furies, and we can all do it. It seems as though this Night Fury has been sheltered for most of his life, so it's almost as though he doesn't know how to do certain things that come naturally to Furies. I don't want to put too much pressure on him because this could break him. However, maybe because of his need to want to impress me, he summons up the power and a great ball of lightning surrounds him till he unleashes his magic breath, and then he disappears through the clouds. He reappears right beside me, and I squeal with joy. This is the first time I make myself get that excited. Okay, who am I fooling? I couldn't hold it in. He really surprised me. See, I told you. I bet I could get you to do anything, can't I? You can't get me to do anything, but I will choose to do anything for you, as long as I want to do it, he says. We fly into the air. Mr. Macho. A queen does need a proper king, he replies. Somebody's full of themselves. This tickles my insides. I like the sudden surge of confidence, and I know I'm partially responsible for that as well, whether he wants to admit it or not. Maybe he never had a reason to do any of these things, and this makes me feel better because it also convinces me that he's never had a female before me. Hey, Shadow, am I your first? First what? You know, first girlfriend? Yeah, you are. My heart is fluttering inside me. Well, I'd better be your last. Well, I guess we'll find out. I smile as we hover in front of the moon. He kisses me gently, and I feel like I'm going to faint. A shiver goes up my spine. Oh, that felt good. It looked like it did, he replies. You want me to do it again? You're gonna have to earn the next one. Oh, really? Why do you have to make me work so hard for everything? So you can appreciate it when you get it. You're really a tease, you know that? I know, I say as I dive below. We fly and dance under the aurora, touching our wingtips together. You are a better dancer when you fly, I tell him. Oh, you just wait and see, he replies. After flying for a while, I look over at him and say, I have something to show you. What is it? It's my home. I tell him everything about me and what happened to me up until this point. He tells me his story too, and even how he became friends with a human. I don't completely agree with all of his viewpoints, but I completely see where he's coming from, and I understand why he made the decisions he did so he could survive. He's such a romantic, but I interpret it to mean that the relationship that he formed with the human in him was just because the both of them needed something for that point in time. Personally, I still don't trust the humans, but he's with me now, so none of that matters. As he is telling me his story, my heart nearly jumps out of my throat. When I realize that his story matches up to the legends that were told about that night fury that took on the Bewilderbeast, I realize that the same hero that the dragons back home were singing about all this time was him. Is him. This whole time I've been courting the mighty dragon alpha hero, or he's been courting me. Oh my gosh, this is so much more of an exciting reason to go home. I tell him that the residents are going to be overjoyed and why, but we make a stop right before we go in. I can't wait anymore, and I know that it's going to get hectic once we enter. I grab onto him and pull him beneath the clouds, and for the first time, for both of us, we mate under the stars and the aurora as we're flying. It is so beautiful, and I have completely fallen in love with him. A real-life hero, and he's mine. I take him silently on a tour through the hidden world, and I give him the backstory as to why we're here. I can't believe all this time it was real. I thought it was a myth. Shadow, I thought you were a myth. I call him Shadow because he followed me everywhere, and I also wanted my own name for him that was not something that the humans gave him. Brightwing, what if no one likes me? I mean, I did just come here uninvited. Shadow, I invited you. Relax. And trust me, they talk about you like a freaking religion. They're gonna love you, I promise. I go back to my nest and I see my sister Pearl chewing on something. She looks up in my direction and then goes back to what she's doing. Suddenly she stops and does a double take. You're back! What the hell were you thinking? Do you know how worried I was? I didn't believe you'd actually do it. You just went out there by yourself. And Brightwing, I swear if... Her speech is cut off when she looks beside me and sees my beautiful Night Fury standing tall and dark. Oh, is all she says. I cannot stop smiling smugly at her. I can see a smile growing on the side of her face. Athalan? She calls out for her daughter. As Pearl passes by me, she whispers, meaning that she approves. I smile proudly. I give her the whole rundown and she goes to the leader for the region, a female rumblehorn. After my Night Fury tells a story, the leader realizes that he's telling the truth and that he really is who he says he is. Everything just takes off from there, and in a matter of moments my Night Fury becomes a celebrity. They all accept him as Alpha, and they do an induction dance as we fly with him to symbolize that we will follow him anywhere. His stories have spread far and wide, and literally to the end of the earth, where we were. He was also the one responsible for teaching humans to love dragons. I was starting to understand what he stood for, and why he had the relationship with the humans that he did. There was so much that he talked about, and I felt a little jealous at first, because everyone else was hogging his attention. Those same female Light Furies that were threatened by me being around their males now wanted a piece of mine. They flirted with him right in front of their males. It made me a little angry when Shadow smiled at them and was so kind to them. Like, why? But he respectfully stepped away and joined me. I see you're popular with the females already. I really intended for this to come out as a joke, but I guess I don't even realize how jealous I am until I actually say it. Those females are very pretty, he says like he has a death wish. I know this isn't fair because I can't expect him to only think I'm pretty, but I have to know that he understands that I'm the prettiest. But not as pretty as you, Brightwing. You won my heart, not them. I smile. That one with the dimple on her tail, though. Wow.
Shadow!
What?
Ugh!
I'm kidding! Then how did you notice she had a dimple on her tail? He just smiles at me and quiets me by landing a kiss on my face. I can feel the hatred from the other Light Furies emanating through the atmosphere. This makes me more happy. All the dragons fly in unison with Shadow to celebrate his place here as Alpha. When we land on the Great Crystal, all the dragons celebrate us. I feel special, and I can't stop looking at him. The love we made solidified our bond and caused me to love him even more. Everybody quiet! Shadow roars out in an authoritative voice. I want to have a dance with my queen. Huh? Shadow? Why is he doing this now? He can't dance. I want to laugh and cry at the same time. Up until now, he has shown all of his strengths. Dancing is not one of them. All the dragons quiet down and all eyes are on us. Do you trust me? Yes, I trust you. Do I really, though? All right, then. You start off and take the lead. I tap my feet and start off the dance, and then he starts to elegantly move around. After that, I follow his lead. This catches me off guard. Why didn't he do this before? How did he just magically learn how to dance all of a sudden? Well, you learned fast, I say, laughing. I pulled it from the recesses of my mind. After we finish our dance, everyone cheers us on. Shadow hugs me, and we commit our love for one another in front of all the residents. But like a slap in the face, someone sounds an alarm that humans are here. How is that even possible? Shadow seems to spot them, and when two of the guards go over to kill the humans, he orders them not to. He picks up one of the humans and flies away, and I realize that, hey, that's not just any human, that's his human. I feel angry. This was supposed to be our day, and again, the humans had to spoil it. Even worse, that stupid Nana was in on it too. Brightwing, where's he going? My sister asked me in a panic. He's going to get rid of them. What if it tells other humans where we are? Asks someone else. Do you really think he would let that happen? I challenge the person who asks. Well, we really don't know that much about him, do we? Replies a humble grunt. Maybe it's best he leaves, chimes in someone else. I can hear my sister chiding them and reminding them who my Night Fury is. Their griping makes me mad. And it just makes me realize I don't want to be anywhere where he's not. I follow Shadow all the way back to where he had come from. I fly above the clouds out of sight and smell. And as I look at him flying, he looks so sad. Aww, he really misses me. He didn't think I'd just let him go, did he? I stay hidden in the grass when we reach back to the island for as long as I can. He's talking with his human for a while, and he continues to look sad and forlorn, ever so often looking back into the horizon in the direction of where our home is. Shadow, I call out to him. I can hear him get excited. Bunny? Hiya, handsome. Bunny! What are you doing here? I'm with you now. no matter where you go, and to make sure you come back. We laugh and dance around each other. It's funny because now we can't get enough of each other. Oh God, everyone must hate me. It's all still very new for them. You don't have to worry about that. The important thing is that you come back as quickly as possible. There are some that are being jerks, but most of them are actually just asking if you're okay. I nuzzle him affectionately. I hear the human in distress, and I lift my head. I am met with the same horrific smell that haunts my dreams. The smell of death and decay. Oh no, I say. Bunny? Shadow, fly! Fly now, fly! I take off, but I don't want to leave him. I turn around to make sure he's following, and I feel a sharp pain in my neck. I remember that pain. I instantly fall to the ground below, unable to fly, just like before. I can hear Shadow calling my name in distress as the smell of the death grippers becomes stronger. Then everything fades. The next time I wake up, I'm hanging upside down. Toothless is beside me, and the disgusting silver human is at the root of it all. I hoped I would never see him again. Shadow? Bunny, are you alright? I'm scared. I don't want to do this again. I can't. Don't worry, Bunny. I won't let anything happen to you. I believe him. I do. Because the stories that have been told about him mention that he defied all odds. Now I would get to see it. As he's reassuring me, the humans come from out of nowhere. His humans. They're actually coming to help. All of a sudden, chaos ensues, and the next thing I know, Shadow is ordering his dragon friends to break free and fight with everything they've got. Shadow looks up, breaks the chain over his mouth, and shoots his magic breath at that evil silver human. Watching him fight for me is amazing. I want to have his babies. Are you kidding? With my beauty and his bravery, they would be perfect. Unfortunately, before my love can get loose, the evil silver human flies me away from Shadow. I don't even feel when he gets on my back, but I do feel afraid. And now I know he'll kill me with those scary items if I fight. Him being on my back puts me at a great disadvantage. Shadow tries to come after me with his human, but the death grippers attack him. No! Shadow! Bunny, I won't give up on you! Shadow! I scream. The death grippers prepare to impale him with the spikes on their end of their tails, and my heart breaks into a million pieces. But I never needed to worry, because my Night Fury unleashes all his power and electrocutes them, killing them all. He flies straight for me. Yes, I knew he'd rescue me. Everything seems to have happened so fast, but now I know for sure it's gonna be over, because the legend of whom the songs sing is the love of my life. Without warning, Shadow screams. I see one of those awful things sticking from out of his neck that puts us to sleep and possibly even kills us in cases. I watch as my Night Fury drops from out of the sky. The human leaps off of him and tackles the evil human on my back. They both hang from my head. They're really heavy and my neck strains from the weight. Shadow's human holds me and the evil human holds him. I can't understand what they're saying to one another, but I do understand what Shadow's human says to me. He unbuckles the thing holding my mouth shut and whispers something in my ear and then purposely lets go. This causes not only him, but the evil human to fall. In that moment, in what he said, I knew he wanted me to save Shadow. I could feel his love for Shadow as much as I loved him, maybe even more. I rescued Shadow, pushing him into a nearby cliff edge. It wasn't hard. Because his wings were outstretched, it helped to create air resistance. I personally don't care for humans, at least not as much as Shadow does, but I know that it would break Shadow's heart if I let anything happen to his human, especially since his human risked his life to save him, to save both of us. So with everything I had, I fly as fast as I can to save his human. Right before he hit the water, I rescue him, almost crashing into it myself. I beat my wings hard, carrying the human into the air, and we go back to find Shadow. Shadow! Bunny. Shadow, I love you so much. I never thought I would say those words, but here I am saying them after having almost lost him. I can't think of anything else but how grateful I am to have Shadow alive and by my side again. The great legendary hero, and I saved his life, just like he saved mine. We held each other for a while. Now can we go home? I ask, laughing. Shadow sighs tiredly. Yes, my love. Now we can all go home. I stay where I am because I know that this is going to be emotional for Shadow having to let his human go. Then something happens that I never thought I'd see. All of the other humans let the dragons go too. None of the dragons had ever been under control by any of these humans. I didn't believe it until I saw it. All the dragons actually stayed because they love their humans, and the humans let them go because they love their dragons. Nobody controlled the other. They just simply loved each other. It's still very sweet. I don't really feel the need to cry. The only thing I want is to get as far away from this place as possible. We're going home! To our real home. To our new home, Shadow says to all his dragon friends. This makes my heart leap with glee. Bunny. Yes, my love? Start them off. I want to finish saying goodbye. Of course, my love, I say, as I immediately start the dragons on the journey. Not long after, Shadow catches up with me. Are you okay? He asks gently as he flies beside me. Yeah. We don't have to go back there, right? No, he says with a smile that doesn't reach his eyes. It's time to start a new chapter in our lives. And I'm glad I'm getting to start it with you. I smile at this. I thought I lost you, you know. You can't get rid of me that easy. I'm beginning to see that. I might have to try a little harder next time, I say, smiling. So you're like the queen of this place? I saw you guys up there, says Stormfly. I now realize that she's just a friend. She cheers Shadow on more than anyone else I know. She really is like a sister to him and has a mate of her own. I was always a queen, Stormfly. For a queen, you were super jealous of me. What? I say, mortified. Oh, girl, please. I'm a female, too. I could tell. I knew sometimes you were watching, and Shadow had no idea, but I saw you. Oh my gosh, Stormfly! You were spying on me? Shadow added in with a smile. I release my magic breath and disappear in total embarrassment. I can hear Stormfly and Shadow laughing at me. Aw, buddy, that's sweet. Trust me, Toothless, she likes you a whole lot more than she let on. I can't believe Stormfly would do this to me. Shadow is laughing his head off. It doesn't take long for us to reach the hidden world, and for the next few weeks, we get everyone settled in. Some time has passed by, and it's not always been easy. I often find Shadow wandered off by himself, lying down in one of the crystal caverns. I can tell he's sad. Do you not want to be here with me? I say as I sit behind him. He must have really been deep in his thoughts because I actually startled him. I'm sorry. No, buddy. Of course I want to be with you. But you miss him. All your friends are here, but he's not. Shadow hangs his head. A lot of who he was or who he became was because of that human, or at least that's what he believes. Yeah, I miss him a lot. I really do. I wonder what he's doing now. I wonder if he's in trouble. Well, I don't know how to make this pain go away. I thought it'd be easy, but it's really hard. I don't know what to say to him, so I just lie down beside him and clean his face. I'm here for you, Shadow. Several days later, I walk in on Stormfly sitting beside him. I know I said I wasn't going to be jealous, but when I hear the way he opens up to her, I do feel jealous. I can't connect with him the way she can. I didn't have a human the way they did, and she, being his best friend, understands more than anyone what he's going through. I think about her all the time, Toothless. I can still feel his paw on my face. Do you ever think about whether or not it would have worked out if they came here? I think we could have made it work, Stormfly, but I don't think that the dragons, most of them would be okay with it. Every dragon here is still of the mind that humans are evil. Well, I don't blame them. Most humans seem to think that we're evil still. The majority of both our species thinks the other's bad. It's gonna take some time for that to go away, but for there to be progress, there has to be those out there to tell the others. If Hiccup and Aster were tucked away here with us, there'd be no way for any of them to tell the other humans.
I never thought about it like that.
I eavesdrop some more, and I just end up feeling worse because there's nothing that I can offer him in form of consolation.
You know it's bad to eavesdrop, says my sister, nudging me.
Well, why are you doing it?
Come over here for a second.
I walk away reluctantly to go talk to my sister. What? I know that you feel bad because there's nothing you can do for him, or at least that's what you think. You should not try to be something that you're not, but there is one thing that you can do. I used to not be okay with Pearl inserting herself in my life, but right now I do need help and advice. I look up at her, ready for the answer. Mike can feel okay about talking about it. He connects with Stormfly because he can talk to her about it. Don't you understand that, little sister? It's not that you needed to have gone through it with him. He just needs to be able to keep the good memories alive, to talk about it so he can let go. He knows you don't like humans, and you've never ever brought it up with him. I never thought about this. I've just been really selfish and happy that Shadow's finally here with me. When I left those humans, I never looked back and I never thought about them. But obviously Shadow had a strong bond with his human, and that wasn't just going to go away because I came into the picture. He knew his human before he even knew I existed. The only time we really even talked about it was when we fought a long time ago, because I told him that it's a human's fault he lost part of his tail in the first place, and he would have found the hidden world a long time ago if it weren't for that. This made Shadow very mad, and he didn't talk to me for quite some time. I realized I've been going about this the wrong way. Every other time, I just ignored the human's existence, and acted like everything that happened between Shadow and his human did not, because I wanted to forget everything that happened between me and the humans. I ended up projecting my trauma and my hatred onto him, and that wasn't fair. Having gotten lost in my thoughts, I didn't even realize that Pearl had gone. That night, I invite Shadow to join me. We go by the glowing pool and I sit down inside of it. After we hug each other, I look him in the eye. I realize I've been selfish with you, and for that I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you felt as though Stormfly was the only one that you could talk to. Shadow smiles and just looks at me. I know that you're going through a lot, and I do want to be there for you. So, if you don't mind, would you please tell me more about Hiccup? I'd like that very much, Toothless. His head snaps up to look at me. He's looking at me before, but he wasn't really seeing me. And right as I said that name, all the life returned to his face. And that's the happiest I've seen him in a long time. I didn't realize that name had so much power. Tears fill his eyes, and he tackles me in a big, tight hug. I love you so much. I can feel the relief, not just for him, but for me. He starts telling me of his adventure with Hiccup and everything they've been through together. We talk for hours, and I even ask him questions, only sometimes, but I let him do all the talking. He really needed this, and he doesn't stop until I know as much about Hiccup as he did. Many years pass by, and we're on our second batch of babies. 2 of them look just like him, and the last one looks like me. Just like our previous kids, everyone loves them. My kids bring me joy. The older ones are off doing their own thing. We hardly see them, but every now and then we'll hear about them. They have gone out from the hidden world in a quest to win the humans over. Apparently, they found a very small sect of humans that they bonded with. Of course, this makes their father and I very nervous, but we know that they're doing it for a good cause. Who knows, maybe someday dragons and humans won't want to be at each other's throats. On this particular day, Toothless takes us out to sun on the rocks. The babies play, and I can see Toothless tense up. What's wrong, my love?
Stay put. I smell something. Quiet, something's moving straight for us.
Oh, okay. Kids, be quiet. Toothless puts himself between whatever is coming at us. I'm not even afraid because time and time again, Toothless has proven to be a strong mate and father. Every single time he has protected us, so I have full faith in him. We see A human, or several of them in a tiny boat. Toothless warns them to turn back, but they don't listen. Suddenly, he leaps up into the air, scaring even me, and lands on the boat intimidatingly, glaring at them. This should make them get the message. If it were anyone else, he would have killed him. He's already done that before when they attacked our family on one occasion. Before long, Toothless is laughing and rolling around the boat. Did something happen? That's when I hear the voice. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. It's his human.
Bunny! It's Hiccup! Everything's fine! It's Hiccup and Astrid!
I smile. I know this has to be the best day of his life because for most of it, he talked about Hiccup all the time and it became a popular story amongst our little ones. Many of the baby dragons pretended they were humans and Hiccup became a favorite with our little ones. And now here he is standing right before Toothless. The both of them play like they never want to let each other out of their sight again. I wonder what Hiccup is doing so far this way. We get to meet his little ones too, and for old time's sake, Hiccup rides Toothless and lets his kids bond with him as well. Of course, since Astrid is here, Toothless tells me straight away to get Stormfly. Our home is not very far, as we're actually on the rock formation of one of the entrances. Stormfly looks like she's going to cry when I tell her who's up there to see her. At first, she doesn't believe me, but then when she sees the seriousness on my face, she leaves everything she's doing and flies straight away to go see Astrid. I watch as they both cry on each other. The rest of the day involves us playing with the humans and getting to know them. Seeing how all my babies have taken to Hiccup and his family makes me believe that there is hope for the future after all, that some humans aren't as bad as we previously thought. After everything that has happened, more than ever, I'm so thankful that I am the female of the hero they call Toothless the Night Fury. I can't wait to see what else my life has in store, because I'm with you, Toothless.